California voters have voted to redraw the state's congressional districts to favor Democrats in newly approved maps already facing a new legal challenge. Good afternoon. I'm Dominic Garcia. Appreciate you joining us at noon. So this is where the results sit right now. And we'll bring up a graphic there. And right now, Proposition 50 here in California. So far, we have 75% of the vote coming in. It is going to pass by a very comfortable margin, 63% so far to 36% with the no vote. Could take some time based on past elections till we get the full count. But again, 63 yes, 36 no. And this is what things will look like come 2026 with redistricting projected to pass. Much of Northern California could turn blue, and then to the south, parts of the Central Valley and even further into Southern California, those could get redder. Well, Democrats swept key races in elections yesterday in what could be an early referendum on the Trump administration. Right now, we want to go to CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joining us to break down the results and what really drove voters' decisions. Anthony, when you look back at yesterday, what did motivate those voters?
Hey, Dominic, great to talk to you again. So I'll start with California here in Prop 50. As you said, a comfortable win for it. I'm going to zoom in here around you in Sacramento, and you're going to see that the Democratic-leaning counties voted very heavily in favor of Prop 50. The tale there is really not just the Democrats supported it, but the reason why. A couple of things. One is, I'll show you this. When asked in the exit polls what they were thinking about, the 6 in 10 Californians who voted for Prop 50 said that Donald Trump was a factor in their vote. See that 59% there. And that was a fairly consistent story on a number of things across a couple of those other states in Virginia and New Jersey. Another factor here was the sort of national impact that it might have. And I'm going to find another slide here that'll show you that people were thinking a lot about pushing back in the minds of Democrats about the redistricting that was going on in other states. 82% of the folks who voted yes said that. So that's one of the things that was driving people. It's a state measure, but they were thinking very nationally, Dominic.
I mean, a lot to digest here. I know, a lot of information still coming in, but anything interesting kind of pique your interest when it came to the California redistricting vote?
Yeah, one of the things that you're going to see here, in addition to the pattern that you see up and down the coast with those Democratic-leaning counties right there, these are the places that, even in the pre-election polling, we had figured might go for the yes side, and in fact they did. So that was one theme. But the other thing I want to do is I want to take you around the country really quick just to show you some of the larger themes that we got here. Let's go coast to coast. In New Jersey with Mikey Sherrill, one of the things that we noticed here is that compared to the 2024 presidential vote, she outperformed Kamala Harris. And then if I go over to Virginia, you're going to see a similar story, where in the governor's race there, Abigail Spanberger, first woman to be elected governor in Virginia. I'm going to pull up the history there, and you're going to see she also exceeded Kamala Harris. And this was the case not just statewide, but in a number of key counties. What that's going to do is it's going to say to Democrats, it's going to say to a lot of Democrats that they have recovered some of the erosion in their core constituencies that they lost in 2024. They got stronger turnout and some of those key groups coming back into the fold for them. I think that sets up a really interesting dynamic heading into 2026, which is where these campaigns will always see these elections as kind of road tests for that campaign ahead, Dominic.
All right, Anthony, thanks so much. Hopefully you can get a little sleep tonight after what I'm sure was a very long night last night.
It's lots of fun. Thank you.
All right, well, the California Republican Party, they're announcing this morning they filed a federal lawsuit after the passage of Prop 50. Suit alleges the new maps approved by voters were drawn based on race. Assemblymember David Tenjipa, attorneys with the Dillon Law Group, and California GOP chairwoman Corinne Rankin made that announcement. They're trying to secure a temporary restraining order and a preliminary injunction to prevent the Prop 50 maps from going into effect. Well, Governor Newsom's office, they responded saying we haven't received the lawsuit, but if it's from the California Republican Party and Harmeet Dillon's law firm, it's going to fail. Good luck, losers. And a new proposed ballot initiative would limit the new congressional district maps to be used only for the 2026 midterms, then revert back to the previous maps in 2028. Orange County Attorney James Lacey confirming the filing today. Currently under Prop 50, those newly drawn maps would remain in place until 2031. That's when the Independent Citizens Commission would draw new maps based on the 2030 census data.